You're listening to international investment advisor Doug Goldstein on the Goldstein on Gelt show, the financial show where we'll talk about how you can make the most of your money. With all the confusing financial chatter bombarding you each and every day, Goldstein on Gelt will give you the practical information you want and need about living a financially stable life. Here's your host, money maven Doug Goldstein.
Okay, we are back. We are talking to Rabbi Uziel Admoni, who's a rabbi in the Sephardic community in Brooklyn, and he's been very involved in community issues. And he started an organization called Charity Safebox. Rabbi, could you tell us what that's all about?
Yeah, hi. The issue of the Charity Safebox really started, not really me, it started more as a community. And the issue was that we got some cases of, unfortunately, fake people, fake issues that they came up with. And I don't want to go into any issues, in any info about any specific case, but idea was that we have to really be on top of it. And this Vada Tzedakah, which is called Charity Safebox, is taking responsible about it. In other words, anybody that wants to come to our community will have to go through this basicing
like a checkup or something?
It's going to be the way it's going to happen is we're having an office in Israel. They're going to have to fill up application. It's going to go through a basically investigation type of work, and once that is an issue and the Vada Tzedakah in Brooklyn will issue it, the guy will come here and get it. It's going to be basically a temporary one. It's going to most probably work up to a year like usually, and it's going to be a fee of $100 for it. But the idea behind it is we want to make sure that the donations go to the right person and helping out those they really need the help, because unfortunately those that don't need the help, they get and they make more money from those that really need it. And that's the positive point of it. And that's the reason why we did it for. We did it is to those they really need it should get it. Mm-hmm. And not for, I'm trying to say it's more positive than negative.
Right, no, I hear you. You're not trying to cut people out. You're trying to help people get included who really need it. You said you have investigators who will be checking it out. What sort of investigations would they do?
Okay, so we have rabbis in Israel that they already dealing with it for years, and they know many institutes, rabbis, community, and so on. So in every area, like in Yerushalayim, we have one or two guys. We have in the center, north of Israel, south of Israel, people that they know their job, as they say. And they will have to follow up with each application. Most probably will take a few days, maybe a week or two, to get back the information. And once that is an issue, that the Vada Tzedakah will issue it, and the people will be able to come over. We're even trying to help people out by coming in here to Brooklyn, to America, maybe even give them the addresses of those people giving out. So like this, we caught off those drivers that they rip off, and they take maybe 4 or 5 people in a car and charging them 30, 40, even 50% of what they're making, which is really a rip-off.
Mm-hmm. So this is not only for charities, you're saying also for businesses, like in a car service?
We wanted to go even further there with it, but right now we're not going to talk about it. All we're trying to say is those that really need the help, we maybe even give them the addresses so that like this, they don't have to take the driver, and unfortunately they charge too much, which is not right.
I got you. A lot of times people, well-intentioned people, donors, fall prey to these false charities that you're describing. You've set this up in order to avoid that. Can you give some examples of where we've seen people get burned?
Well, as I said before, I don't want to go into any details, but I've been seeing it daily basis, actually. Sometimes it's a few dollars in the shul, which is not a big deal, but sometimes it's much more, and we're talking about thousands of dollars in general, if we're talking about, we had few cases that we know that happened, and unfortunately we put in some investigators into it, and the result of it was very bad, which thank God some good things came out of it, but at least those guys that's supposed to get the money got. But again, without going into any details, it's unfortunately daily basis. People come and they one time had a case or something, and it's been going for years and years on something that happened. They already made money to resolve not only that problem, most probably all the problems that he will ever had in his life.
I see. We are talking to Rabbi Uziel Admoni, who's a rabbi in the Sephardic community in Brooklyn, and he's setting up an organization called Charity Safebox in order to help people give charity and feel safe about doing it. Do you have any tips that you might give people who are wanting to donate money, what they should be asking, what sort of questions they should ask before they write especially big checks?
Okay, so we have the website. That the idea of the website will be that those donors will be able to log in and check on each one that went through and got the okay from us to see the information. It's going to be on the website. Not everyone will be able to see it, only if you're a member and we know who you are and you're a donor, of course, and you want to know about someone specific. That guy will get a card which will have a code on it or a barcode, and you'll be able to put in that code and check upon the guy what was the purpose of him coming to America and how much money he needs, maybe even how much money he already raised, and you'll be able to get at least, I would say, a good 70-80% of what that situation is all about, so you know how much you really want to give this guy.
So are there any specific criteria that Charity Safebox will be looking for when they investigate a charity?
Well, we'll help out institutes, organizations, yeshivas, individuals, all kind of cases. We are not here to basically specify one another, but what will be is most probably those that they need something right away for an emergency. Most probably, obviously, people will look into more to those cases than someone that unfortunately has a case that it's not an emergency or an urgent case. That has to do more with the donors than us. We are here to help out and make sure that the donors get the full information as much as we can about an individual or an institute or anything like that, that we want to make sure that guy knows who he's giving to. Now, it's up to him if he wants to give, how much he wants to give. Maybe we'll help out if someone has any questions that we're able to answer. They could email us, they could call us, and things like that. But we were not trying to get into anyone's private life. All we're trying is to make sure that those that come are the right people, and those donors make sure that those donors giving to the right places.
I hear. So if you were a charity, let's say a charity in Israel that wanted to get on the good list of Charity Safebox, do you have any suggestions for what a charity like that should be doing now so that they'll get a good rating by you?
Okay. We're not going to basically rate them by stars or anything like that, but that would be a very logical thing. So in other words, for an example, a yeshiva that comes and has 100 boys, and they need another $25,000 to cover the budget, or $50,000. And then another guy comes with a yeshiva, and all legit, of course, with 100 boys, and his budget is missing $500,000. So that licks a red red light that the donor will think, 1 second, if there's 100 people, 100 boys in this yeshiva and 100 boys in this yeshiva, he's missing 50,000 and this guy is missing 500,000. What's going on?
All right.
So here is our part, that a case like that, the rabbi, whoever is going to investigate it, will go in and check it out. I mean, why are you missing so much money? Why do you need so much, or what's the other case of that guy that needs 50,000? We don't care much because really that's his budget. That's the way he's set it up. But 500,000 for 100 boys will be a little bit overkill, right? What? Yeah. So obviously the donor will ask that question, and of course we'll be the first one to see it and work on it, because there is a organization. I don't want to mention their name, but that organization, what they do is they help out institutes, usually institutes or yeshivas, of course, organizations that sometimes, unfortunately, they don't know how to deal with their budget. So they come in and they see the budget, they see what expenses are, and they try them to save them a good few dollars, and they already proved that they helped out at least one yeshiva that we know with $150,000 in the budget without doing anything, just to set up the budget the right way with the expenses and so on.
I see. Okay, Rabbi, we are just about out of time. We've been talking to Rabbi Uziel Admoni, who has set up the Charity Safebox. In the last few seconds, could you just tell people how they could learn more about the work that you're doing?
Yes. They could check online. The website is called CharitySafebox.com. You can make it one word, as it is today with Google. There's no problem. It's, again, called CharitySafebox.com. Starting basically from next week already, you're going to have, opportunity to call up. Can I give the number?
Yes, please do.
Number in Israel, which for right now most probably it's going to be temporarily, but for now it's good, and it's good enough. His name is called Rabbi Samin, and his number is 050-623-1501.
Okay. Rabbi Admoni, thank you very much. Rabbi Admoni from Charity Safebox. You can find out more at www.charitysafebox.com. Thanks again.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
You've been listening to the Goldstein on Gelt show with money maven Doug Goldstein. Doug's weekly radio show is heard around the world, but if you miss it, you can download the podcast at www.goldsteinongelt.com. The Goldstein on Gelt show gives you up-to-date financial ideas so you can get on the path to financial freedom. If you'd like your questions answered on the air or off, send Doug an email to doug@profile-financial.com. It's your money for your future, so join Doug every week to build your wealth on the Goldstein on Gelt show.